Hello, my name is Nakoliki Ologojan, and I'll be presenting to you my project on the ReadMe system. So, ReadMe is an online library system which is developed using a user-centered approach. That's to make sure that the system that is being built is considers the users and make sure it interacts well with them. Again, this online library system contains different types of books ranging from academic books, werewolf, thrillers, humor, fan fiction, and romance. Has a lot more books, genres of books. So anyone that's a registered user can access these books for free. What I mean by registered users is that the user has to be signed up on their system. That's with their email, password, and username. So if you're a user, you'll be able to read all genres of books, track your progress, and also the system will also bookmark where you left off from your previous book. It again allows you to listen to audiobooks. You also have the chance of writing and publishing your own books on the system, and has a social feature, that's communication feature, which allows users to send messages to each other, send referrals, links, and also other books. And lastly, the user is also able to contribute to other people's books by either commenting on it or leaving a feedback for the writer of the book. So I believe that we all know that we are gradually moving to the digital era, and according to academics, by the end of 2030, if not all, about 80% of our daily lives and operations will be online. So that's why we are introducing this online library system so users can, which is a perfect way of blending in with the digital revolution. So users can save the hassle of going out to look for books or buying books. They can just access any book they want on the system. So what are the major challenges I faced? So in implementing or in building my system, some of the challenges I faced was purely the research method. So research method I used was interview, and the users were reluctant to answer interview questions. So some of them didn't want to answer, some of them answered but not so well, leading to inadequate data from research, which could also be classified as a challenge I faced because I had little data to work with in building the system. So the social feature is just being able to send messages, receive messages, sending books via messages, and all that. So the research method I used in designing my project was the interview. So I chose interview because it was one of the easiest ways to go about it given the limited time I had. So a preliminary investigation was conducted where time was taken to understand the user of the system. So we made sure that the questions we are asking makes us understand the user of the system we are going to build, their needs and their requirements. So a group of students and like-minded system analysts in the making were interviewed, and their response led to the implementation of the system. So the goal was to find how best to build a user-integrated system, and the interview questions were open-ended questions that allows for more feedback. So it's not close-ended, meaning with the question we are asking, you can add further to it, and which will generate another question and so on. So making it easier for us to understand the users. So based on our research, which was a qualitative analysis, we found out that Users' engagement or involvement in developing a system is essential at each stage of the developmental phase. So since I'm using the joint application development method, I'll be using it because users to involve user participation in developing the system. Also, it's faster, it's a more faster approach to use, it's less costly, and it's great for developing a better and error-free system. So these are the reasons why I chose the JAD application system. And based on the analysis, users' involvement is very essential or crucial at this point. So now moving on, the final part is the design process I went through in building the system. That's the steps I went through in designing the system. So the first step was the system planning, which involved the preparation of the system and performing a preliminary investigation. The purpose of this investigation was to find the feasibility of the system. That's a feasibility study will be conducted. So the system planning stage doesn't involve any fact finding or investigation. It just involves planning and preparation towards the fact finding. So the system analysis, moving on, I went to the system analysis stage. So this stage was where the fact finding was used, which use a specific research method, that's the interviews. So the interview is regarded as a qualitative method. So the results I got were qualitative results. That the research will be based on like a qualitative results. So next was the system design. So this was the critical part of the development process where a prototype was built. However, I had to consider the user, data, architecture, and design trade-offs. So this point, I had to incorporate everything the users wanted. That's when I used a JAD, that's a joint application development system. The results I gained from the users was what I implemented into the prototype. So that's them being able to chat on the system, reading different genres of books plus audio books, and they wanted it to be free for all users. So these are some of the things I incorporated into my prototype based on the user needs and requirements. Thank you. I end my presentation here.